Has there been an NBA team in recent memory that has had as many injuries as the Pelicans? What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans, Pelicans fans, Hawks fans, NBA fans, of course, Dejounte Murray fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. I'm doing a different type of video here today because Dejounte Murray was a San Antonio Spur. And boy, a lot has happened since he's left the team. And I wanted to talk about his injury last night and some other things. But also, first and foremost, I want to get it out there. I'm not one of the people that hates Dejounte Murray or dislikes. Maybe hate's a strong word. There is the Spurs community that's very unhappy with what he said when he left the team and some of the shade he threw at the organization. And for the record, I don't like that. I don't like a lot of the things he said at the time, but I understood it. And what I mean by is I got the vibe that he felt he was the face of the franchise. He was going to be the guy. He wanted to be a Spur, and then getting traded was a shock to him. Heck, it was a shock to me as a Spurs fan, and he did not handle it well. Quite frankly, if I was at that time, when I was his age, I probably wouldn't have handled it well either. So I've moved on from that. And first, let's get into the article from Yahoo Sports and let's talk about Dejounte. The Pelicans have lost Dejounte Murray for the season and likely part of the next one. ESPN Shams reported Murray had torn his Achilles tendon, a season-ending injury that could also affect the 25-26 season. I don't think that's a could also. That's a likely. Achilles, usually about a year-long recovery. It's February 1st right now. Yeah, he might miss substantial time next season. And then here we go. Here's the injury here. It's not a graphic one. It's a non-contact injury. But if you haven't seen it, I'm going to show you what happened. And then, poof, right there. And that is scary. Yeah, I'm a baller too. Well, I don't want to say I'm a baller. Let's back that up. I play basketball. I'm not a baller. And just to see how easily a professional athlete in his mid to late with Dejounte, 27, 28, how an injury like that can just happen so easily. And I think my 47-year-old butt's running out there on pavement playing basketball. That's scary. And what happened? The announcer asked what happened. Obviously, the Pelicans need to call timeout. He gets up and hobbles off the court, which is amazing. But let me tell you, if I tore my Achilles, guess where I'm moving? Nowhere. I'm like, you better bring your AWS out here and carry me off the court because I'm not walking. We always knew he's a tough kid. And they're just getting himself off the court. They finally call timeout, and I don't want to watch any more of that. That's the article. I finished the article. My bad. This is the second major injury of his career. He missed the entire 18 and 19 season with a torn ACL. That was when he was with the Spurs. And as far as the Pelicans, I mentioned this at the start of the video. Zion has missed 27 games. Brandon Ingram's been out since December 7th. So he's been out. Oh my God, he's been out since December 7th? I knew he was out. I didn't realize he's been out for that long. Murray, if you didn't know, broke his hand, his left hand, in the Pelicans' debut and missed 17 games. Herb Jones has been out indefinitely since January 8th. And CJ McCollum's missed 13 games with the strain. It's just been one injury after another for the Pelicans. But this one is... let's talk about Dejounte Murray here for a second. We're going to do a little revisionist history. He was an all-star with the Spurs from 21-22, and he had a great year with the Spurs this year. And you can say all you want, well, he was a backup and he was in there because of injury or whatever he got. He was an all-star. He made the team. Something I'm never going to do. He averaged 21, 8, and 9 while leading the league in steals at 2 steals per game. And then on June 30th, 2022, the day he didn't see coming, a shock to me as well, he was traded by the Spurs to the Hawks for an unprotected 2025 pick, first-round pick, 2026 first-round swap, and a 2027 first-round pick. 2 picks in a swap, all unprotected. And right now, the Atlanta Hawks are sucking. There is a chance Dejounte Murray, through his trade, could get the Spurs another top pick. Went to Atlanta, and the trading and Dejounte Murray combination, it just didn't work. I thought it would be pretty successful for him. Man, nope, not so much. 41-41 in year one, and 36-46 last season. Yes, Trae Young missed a ton of games because of injury, but still, it just wasn't working, and Atlanta said, time to move on. And on July 6th of last year, he was traded to the Hawks to the Pelicans. And it's really been downhill since then. The broken hand opening night, and now this. He's having career worst splits this season of 39, 30, 82, and I genuinely feel bad for him. That Achilles is going to take probably a year to recover, and quite frankly, he may never be the same. Kevin Durant doesn't look like he's lost a step, no pun intended, with the Achilles injury he had, but he did tear his Achilles, right? Yeah, Durant did. I'm pretty sure he did. Missed the whole season. But he is a fantastic jump shooter. That is something that is not part of Dejounte Murray's game. He's not Kevin Durant. and he might not be the same when he comes back. I hope he is. I wish him a speedy recovery. I think he's going to work his butt off doing PT, whatever it takes to get back on the court, but he might not be the same player. And when I look at his career, just in a few years, he's gone from all-star to borderline journeyman. He's been with 3 teams in 4 years. That's a lot. And I hate to say this, but when it's all said and done, there is a chance he may be best known for the picks the Spurs get than necessarily what he's done on the court. And what I mean by that is if the Spurs get a top pick this draft because Atlanta's falling apart with their Jalen Johnson injury, and they get a top 3 pick, or my goodness, NBA fans would revolt if this happened, if the Spurs would get the number 1 pick overall and take somebody like Cooper Flagg. That's going to be the focus of his career more so than what he did, definitely what he did in San Antonio and possibly anywhere else. Hopefully that's not the case. That's not the story. I wish him well. But man, torn Achilles, broken hand, torn ACL. He's had a lot of injuries in his young career, and those start to add up, especially those lower leg injuries. So sincerely, Dejounte Murray, wish you the best. We don't do a lot of videos here on former Spurs, but this is something like this happened to any guy that left a team that was a bit, and he was a big part of our team. He was an all-star one season. We thought he was a point guard of the future. And love him or hate him, you can't help but love the draft capital we ended up getting for him. And I sincerely wish him the best. Dejounte, thoughts and prayers out to you, man. Thank you all. Drop a comment down below. Your thoughts on this. Do you think he can come back? And your thoughts on anything we went over. Appreciate you. Hit the thumbs like support the channel. Subscribe to become part of our awesome sports community. I want to close it like I always do. Thank you. And as always, go Spurs go.